mercy, creeping high. Mirror got me asking, who's gonna try? Standing on the edge, fire in my eyes. World spinning circles, others saying goodbyes. Clock's ticking fast, no disguise. Who's gonna kiss my tasty thighs? Lord have mercy, and the creek don't rise. Who's gonna step up, take the prize? Mixing the heat with my sass, ain't no lies. Who's gonna kiss my tasty thighs? Strolled from the hood, looking fine as silk. Empire dreams, cream over milk. Blaze the path, no longer weeping sighs. Who's gonna kiss my tasty thighs? Water might rise, skies go dark, but my shine ain't fading. Inner spark, facing down fate. Hear my cries. Who's gonna kiss my tasty thighs? Concrete jungle, neon lights aglow, swagger to my beat. Guess what they know? Lucy in her denim, calling all the guys. Who's gonna kiss my tasty thighs? And the creek don't rise, giving me those lines with them bedroom eyes. Baby boy, you're gonna be my toy. Gotta ask, baby, are you gonna try? Are you gonna try? Yeah, I see you, baby. Are you gonna try? Is it gonna be you? Lord have mercy, and the creek don't rise. Who's gonna step up, take the prize? Mixing heat with my sass, ain't no lies. Who's gonna kiss my tasty thighs? If you want 'em, yeah, I got 'em. We're like addition and hay, I'll bet you want some. Maybe, baby, you could be my guy. Saying who's gonna kiss my tasty Lord have mercy, and the creek don't rise. Who's gonna step up, take the prize? Mixing heat with my sass, ain't no lies. Who's gonna kiss my tasty thighs? Is it gonna be you, or is it gonna be you? Yeah, I see you, babe. Is it gonna be you, or is it gonna be you? Yeah, I see you, baby.
But you need to turn that down, sir. I mean, I know you like the song because it is pretty cool, right? It is pretty jamming, isn't it? It's one of my finest creations. It's one of my finest creations. Yes, yes. Okay. Well, but why? It's what you do. Come on. That's funny. You're gonna Epstein from it? I said, are you gonna? You said you're gonna Epstein from it? It's like, wow, really? Ah, hey, hey, hey. That. Hold on. That's and and this back here. That picture behind me is Don Draper. Hold on, I can't. Right there. It's Don Draper because he's fabulous, and not in a fun, happy way. He's just beautiful. So, at any rate, welcome everybody to the SMUG Cast. This is our episode 5, and there's a chance we might have got this right, but uh,
See, you didn't hear all the off-camera grousing, swearing, cursing, and chairs being thrown, fists through walls.
right,
No, I'm kidding.
yeah.
Kidding.
I'm not, because honestly, like every time we get in here, something has gone on. Like we have major gremlins in our like system, and probably my brain. I don't know. But at any rate, good to see you, Timothy, and thank you
Good to
for
see
the
you.
yes, right. Thank you for the lovely chicken dinner that you prepared so
Yes. Yes, that
earlier
is a
for us.
lovely chicken dinner every time. Never
It was
fails. It's
it was
always a big hit.
beautiful. I have to commend you on your mitigation of the crumbage on the floor by using the Ziploc bags. So
Yes. Yeah. If you
yay.
shake everything up in the Ziploc bag and you don't get fingers full of batter, and it's really a lot cleaner and
Right.
goes faster. Anyhow,
I realize you love your powdered existence, but in this case
yes,
is better for everybody in the floor not to have crumbs on it.
the cats enjoy it though.
I know they do. I know, but the
But
cats are weird and they've got their own issues.
yes,
Well,
they do.
well, Timothy, what would you like to start out talking about today?
Well, um,
Should we talk about our events of the week?
yeah, we could do that. Yeah, but you know what? I found out a bit of news that I did not know about the area we live in.
What is that?
Um, the Henry Dorley Zoo is like one of the top 10 zoos in the world and one of the top 2 zoos in the country.
Right,
I
number
thought
two.
whenever I heard I thought whenever I heard, saw Henry Dorley Zoo, I'm like, oh, it's some animal park with a petting zoo for the kids, right? That's I had no idea
Ah,
they had no idea, none at all, that they had such a world class operation here. So everything I've said about nothing to do here in
oh, there's
Omaha,
lots. There's lots to do. It's just that we have to find it. And I've realized about Omaha that because I was watching our friend, the realtor that we watch on YouTube occasionally,
Mhm.
that you don't care much for, but I like him.
The
And
goofy
he,
smile.
come in,
Whenever
I'm sorry.
whenever he finishes talking, he gets that little goofy grin, and it's like, all right,
Wait, wait,
dude,
I got
we
it.
get it.
I got it. Here it is. He's like, and the prices in Omaha have gone up. No, he seems like a
Yes,
good guy.
yes, he does.
But he had a
He
list of a bunch of things to do in Omaha, and I was telling you, I think when it came out a couple of months ago, I said, "Go to the house more, damn it! There's all this stuff to do. Look at this and this and this and this and this and this." And the zoo is one of those things. But of course, you realize you have to walk around in the heat for that.
well,
You
we can
know,
always do it September, October, when
I'm
it's
busy then.
cooler out.
I'm busy then. My public demands me.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yes, I'm
Aren't
going
you
to be,
smug? Anyhow,
and I am smug, and I am in the right place because this is the smug cast right here. Wait a
yes,
minute.
it
Hold
is.
on. It's the smug cast. Oops. Hold on. Let me show you my
Yes.
mug. Smug mug. So y'all, if you want the smug mug, there's a QR code right up here, and it's very reasonably priced. And I don't know. I'm having a good time with mine. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
not exactly using it what it's supposed to be used for, but I have different purposes in my different priorities.
Yeah. So adventures this week, what were they?
Well, do you want to start at the beginning of the week? What's the beginning of the week for you? Are you looking at Sunday? Because we both work the weekend, so
Well, my week
um,
begins on Friday because that's my first work day. So,
mine begins on Thursday technically, but that's okay. It doesn't really matter. Well, I went to the hospital
mhm.
and I woke up, as you know, at like 5:30, and I was freaking out and I couldn't stop myself from shaking because I had the
Shivering.
yeah, I had the chills so badly. Um, so I said, Tim, give me the hospital, quick. Stat, stat, get on it,
I-
stat.
y- yeah, you're like, I got to go to the ER. I'm like, oh crap. Not something anybody wants to hear,
Mm-mm.
but yeah, we
I
got her
hem-hawed
over there, and
I hem-hawed around before we left a little bit, and I mean,
yeah,
I don't want to go. I know what's coming. I hate needles. I hate the whole thing, and most of all, I hate having to pay, 10 to 15 to $20,000 for a bunch of tests. even though I realize it's benefiting me, but we just don't have it. And
Yeah.
so we got over there, and the happiest I have been all day that day was when they gave me the Sprite.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I kept asking, I need some ice chips. I need some ice chips. You can't have any.
Yeah, because they had to wait for your tests to come back.
Yeah. So
And
basically, I had a reaction to the antibiotics that they had given me for my ear infection a few days earlier, like the day prior to that. But she said
Mhm.
take one a.m. and one p.m.
Mhm.
And so the last one I took it was like at 2 o'clock, and I woke up like at 5 o'clock with these tremendous shivers. I've never had them that bad. I have
Yeah.
no idea, but the little pamphlet says if you have this, you need to go to the thing. So I said,
Yeah.
Tim, take me to the thing.
Yeah, because it was looking like a reaction to the medication. But we
Yeah.
got you over there. They ran their
Hmm.
tests rather
And I
slowly.
still feel drained. I still feel drained. I I figured that once they gave me the antibiotics and the liquid, that it would be much better. But I still feel drained.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a slow week. I mean, a couple of weeks for me. Even though, I mean, yeah, I do work from home, but as you know, I mean, when you just ain't feeling it, you ain't feeling it. I was supposed to do a guitar video tomorrow, and even though you know, I sit around here and I play all the time, as you know, I just don't feel like being too presentable these days. So hopefully
Yeah.
that will change soon because you know I can't parade around in my underwear on camera and stuff. I could,
Well,
but
that would
I
be
don't want to.
OnlyFans though.
I don't want to, you
That
know,
would
offend people. It's not Halloween yet.
yeah. We could go to OnlyFans though. You know,
You know, I don't
never
think I'm
mind.
even. It's not even safe for OnlyFans. They wouldn't understand me, and you know, I'm just not feeling it. I don't want to entertain those
Yeah.
people, but
Yeah. I don't blame you.
I might at some point in the future, but not right now. Okay. Um, if we get if we get any more broke, we might have to discuss this. But at any rate,
Well,
so what did you do? I mean, you kind of sat there while I was in the hospital, and I felt sorry for you. Jim, go walk around, go find something, go find somebody. I
no,
don't know.
I wasn't. I wanted to stay there, so you know,
Yeah, I
because
appreciate it.
I'm the good husband.
Oh, really?
I thought you noticed.
I did. Thank you.
Okay.
Well, I still feel bad for you because I mean, I grew up, you know, as my mom was terminally ill, and we always had to go to the hospital. I knew the hospital better than I knew my own school. But you know,
Yeah.
we always had to hang out, and it's you're a kid, you know, you don't want to do that. You just want to, you know, you just want to go find something fun to
Hmm.
do. So I
Yeah.
get it.
I spent plenty of time in hospitals back when I was in an EMT and firefighter and all that fun stuff, and
Hmm.
working the private ambulance service and picking people up and dropping them off, and spent a
Yeah,
lot of time in a lot of nursing homes, a lot of hospitals,
yeah.
the morgue on a couple of occasions, several
Ooh.
funeral homes. Well, dead people got to go somewhere. I mean, they can't just lay there. That gets messy.
Well, they
Um,
could just lay there, but yeah,
yeah,
I
well,
get you.
you trip over them, they get in the way. It smells bad. Who the hell wants that? Um, no, but in all seriousness, yeah, I've done that, and so hospitals, no, hospitals are not fun. But I've been around them so often and been in them so often, it's just kind of like, uh, and I honestly think they hate the fact when patients come in there, or patients' families are like familiar with how some of it works.
Yeah,
Uh, you
enough to be
know,
dangerous. Yeah.
right, exactly. But you know what I noticed, and I saw this a lot. I probably had the same expression at one point or another. The first nurse that brought us in is had that 1,000 yard stare like a lot of medical people do from especially in the ER, and you know they're coming off night shifts, so everybody's probably
Hmm.
tired, but
Yeah.
it's just the you know it's like wow, you've probably seen a lot, even in a small hospital like this one, you've probably seen a lot. So
Right. Well, they've
uh
seen me before.
yeah,
That's enough.
yeah. Well, I mean, I don't want.
Well, we were the
Anyhow.
first ones there. I felt
Yeah.
like I was in Florida and I got the first parking place in front of the Walmart and I was excited. Damn it, we're the first one. We're in the first room.
Yeah. But other than the hospital, it's just not been a whole lot going on. I mean,
Yeah, it's been
um,
kind of low key.
yeah, trying to find, we're working on interesting things to bring you folks. Tonight is kind of the way it is because the hospital and all that other
Hmm.
stuff, and
Yeah,
we didn't have a whole lot of time to prepare
yeah.
and research the things we wanted to do. So we will bring you more exciting stuff next week. But um,
We have a list of questions that we can talk
yeah,
about this week.
yes, bring them up.
Okay. Hold on. This is 100 conversational questions. Are you ready?
Yay! Sure, go for it.
All right. What is something you've never done but would like to try to do and keep it clean?
Um, Hold on. Never mind. Keep
Ah,
it clean. What would I like to try to do that I've never done?
oh, this is
Skydiving,
what?
although it would scare
Really?
the living daylights out of me. Well, I mean, it looks fun from a distance. I
Wouldn't
don't
you
know
pee
if I'm gonna.
yourself?
I do more than that. Trust me. Or
Well, I'm gonna steer clear and I'm gonna be like, wait, that's fine.
because it's like wow, drifting down in a parachute, and at the same time, I'm like, oh my god, you're on a parachute, But it looks exciting. I'll probably never do it because I'm getting too old for that kind of stuff and probably die of a heart attack before I hit the ground. But there we are. What
But
about you?
well, hold on. Before you skydive, can you make sure to sign all of your paperwork so I get all your stuff?
Okay, yeah, I could do
Okay.
that. Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
whoever wrote this list, basically, this is like the STAR methodology. What steps would you take to make it happen? What sparked this desire? Are there any obstacles preventing you from doing this? Yeah, me.
Scares me. I'm frightened to death.
Oh,
So
yeah.
that's what stops me.
Here's something that's more up your alley. What is something you've tried and wouldn't do again?
We have to keep it clean, right?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
At least
Um,
PG or R rated, but mostly
what have I done
PG.
that I would never do again? Haunted houses.
Oh,
It's the
wait a
first
minute.
one I could think of.
The ones you ride through or walk through or both?
The
Uh,
ones you
You,
walk through, ride through, whatever. I just can't stand haunted houses. Did one once, never again.
you said something
Never
once.
again.
You told me a story about um like a haunted hayride. Didn't you go on one of those at one point, or am I just imagining that?
No, I was at a haunted house in yeah, I almost got into a fight. The guy scared the hell out of me and I
Did.
almost swung at him.
Of course you did.
Almost swung at him. Well, don't jump out at me with a saw, for Pete's sake.
Well, yeah, that kind of, not really a good opener, is it?
No,
I heard
it's so
I
yeah,
heard a comedian talk once about that's who I had probably heard it from. Went on a haunted hayride, and everybody on the hayride was smoking.
mm,
And we, things gonna go up like
yeah, it's like, well, that would become a very hot hayride rather
yes.
quickly.
We said it was the hayride to Hades.
All right, so
No,
what about you? What have you done that you never want to do again?
most of mine involve people, and names. Um, but wait a minute, we have some ancillary questions here that you didn't answer because you didn't know about them. Did you learn
Okay.
anything from this experience, Tim? And why
Yes,
wouldn't you
never to
want to
do.
do it again?
You know what? Because it's just I
Because
hate
it's
them.
stupid.
They're well, it's not only stupid, but I don't like Halloween to begin with. I can't stand it. In fact,
Wow, really? Wait.
yeah,
Are you ambivalent?
yeah. No, I really that's no. This is not ambivalent. I really can't stand it.
What do you hate about it so much?
Everything.
What's
I mean, let's
what
let's all
is the
get
top
together and
thing?
Well, because we're celebrating death. Who the hell wants to do that?
So you're telling
Really,
me,
let's.
sorry, I can't talk. If I were to get a nice little Halloween outfit that was black, tight, and satiny, because I was dressing up like some weirdo, whatever, you wouldn't be enthused on that for
I
Halloween.
don't
I
like the
mean,
gore. I'm right. Yeah, I don't like the macabre, the gore, the whole. I mean, when I was living in the Chicago area, there were some people in our neighborhood that had lawn displays that really made me question their psychological stability.
I feel like I need to be
Seriously,
playing Alice's Restaurant in the background while you go on here.
I and it's in. I don't know why some people think that it's fun to traumatize little kids with scary stuff, but seriously, man, you're gonna wound them for life. Why bother? Why do that? I mean, if you want to
Oh
have
yeah.
Halloween and the trick or treat in a fall festival kind of
Hmm.
atmosphere with jack o' lanterns and
Oh
stuff like that,
yeah.
sure,
Yeah.
fine. But keep the zombies and the
Yeah.
vampires and the whole occult nonsense. Just yuck. No, I don't like it. Never have. Never
You
have.
just said yuck.
Yes, I said yuck
Okay.
because I'm that old.
All right. All right. Okay. Something that I would try that I would never do again. Telemarketing. I had a
Yeah, I
I
can
had a
see that. Yeah.
I had a job for literally 20 minutes, 15 minutes. And that was the golden year that I realized that I can't talk to people because I don't really give a flying if they buy the shit or not. I mean, and that stuff you got to make a quota, and it
Yeah.
wasn't for me. And as I walked out the door, the woman's like, "It wasn't for you, was it?" No, it wasn't.
No,
Nope,
no.
nope, nope.
In fact, it was not.
No, 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 it wasn't.
When
Uh,
when
Go ahead.
when I started at my current job, they did have us trying to sell things
Yeah.
at first. Not in the course of doing the tech support troubleshooting, we were to suggest extended warranty plans. Your device, it wouldn't cost you this much if you bought the extended warranty for the repair. And after about, I didn't do that. I'm like, listen, they're calling me because their computer's busted, and they don't want to hear me talk about, well, this extended warranty would prevent this in the future.
Sure,
No,
sure.
but they, after about doing that for about 3 months, they just dropped it because it wasn't,
Mhm.
first of all, we didn't want to do it. Second of all, it was really kind of irking the customers a little bit.
Well, I could see
I
that.
called, I called you for tech support, not a sales pitch.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah,
fair enough.
I would think the
Fair
same thing.
enough.
Okay, here's a good one.
Yes.
How you're gonna love this. How would your friends and family describe you? And do you feel their descriptions align with how you see yourself? I know that
How
answer.
would how would my friends and family describe me? Um, Probably use colorful language in that
Really?
description.
Did you all? I thought you all got along. You have
Well,
what?
we did,
Five
but
five
you know what?
brothers?
4 brothers and a sister.
Four. Okay.
My sister's awesome, by the way.
He is.
Just so you know,
He
she
is.
is. My sister is awesome. My brothers are all pretty awesome too. I mean, there's not a bad one of us in the bunch. My parents did a good job. So
I like
kudos
how
to
you
mom and
include
dad for.
yourself with that. You,
Well,
you teach your own horn.
yes. Well, I am the black sheep of the family. Always have been.
Me too. Yeah.
So
So see,
um
we're kind of equally matched on that front.
yeah. So how would, well, I don't know. You've known me for 25 years. How would you describe me? Oh, here we go.
Well, I can't. There's some things I can't describe you like on this podcast because no one wants to really hear about that.
You know,
Um, well,
no, they don't.
I have to tell you, and this is going to come as a shocker to you, maybe, but the first time that I met you, when I came up to Chicago and we were at the park, and you tried to make a move on me, I did not want that.
Oh,
I was not into you at all.
Oh wow. Okay.
That was 25 years ago. Come on, we're married now.
I know, I
You
know, I
touch
know, I
stuff.
know.
But I
um,
would describe you as very intelligent to it.
Thank you.
It's almost to a deficit to yourself sometimes because you overthink, but so do I. So I get it.
Yeah.
Um, I would I would describe you. You are definitely, like I always tell people, you are the better one of us. I'm evil. I'll fully admit it. I like to play tricks on people. I imagine I plot things against people, but I never do them. Um, but Tim would, pardon me for saying this, but he wouldn't say shit if he had a mouthful. So he is definitely the best one of us. And he's a uh,
Well, I
he's
appreciate that, honey. Thank you.
well, you are, and that'll be, you can give me the $20 later. Um, but
Okay.
I've always enjoyed your sense of humor, of course, and of course we're kind of two peas in the pod because no one really gets mine either. Um, but I think I'm hilarious.
Well, well, you because you are. You're a riot when we're sitting there. I mean, it's like when we're watching a bad movie or watching some dumb YouTube video. It's like MST3K in the living room. It really is because it's like it's just constant back and forth with the bad puns, the bad jokes. You know,
Last week,
we see the same.
yeah,
What was that thing we were watching a couple weeks ago?
I don't.
The retrospective, the there was TV commercials I think from the 70s,
Oh, the horror numbers.
and the site was hashtag who. Yeah, the horror members, right, right. There was the website was hashtag who remembers,
Members, but if
but
you looked
the
at it,
way
it says
they
horror
didn't
members.
think it said horror members, and we
We
both noticed that at the same time.
same
We
time.
were laughing for like 10 minutes over it.
Well,
So yeah, it's
last week we
and
talked about we decide, at least I decided, I looked at Tim, I was, oh gosh, we're just sitting there in the morning, nothing's going on. I got an idea and I said, you know, I said, instead of having oh yeah in every song that you hear in rock and roll, they should change it to
yes,
old school, like yay verily. So we laughed about that a while, but then
yes,
I kind of got
yes,
serious about it, and I actually made my own song called "Yay Verily." So it's
right,
released, by the way, but
and
I might play it sometime, but not today. But yeah, I just thought that was funny. But occasionally these thoughts
we
come
need
into
to
my head. Sorry,
we
go
need to
ahead.
write a song in old English, like Shakespearean dialogue or something.
Well,
You know,
I'll
to
leave
even
that one
take
to
a
you.
modern, to even take one of our even take one of our favorite songs
Bust a move.
and convert the lyrics into
Well, there was one time
I don't know
when I
even
was a
where to.
paralegal, I translated a contract into
Mm-hmm.
Ebonics, which I thought was hilarious. But my bosses really didn't think that. And I told them,
No, probably not.
I
I
came
can
up with the
imagine.
idea that in the month of December, if one were to be Jewish and Christian, then you could take advantage of both the Jewish and Christian holidays. So Messianic Jewish, basically. But if
Yeah,
you also capitalize on what's the I can't think of the freaking thing at the end
Ramadan,
of well, no, Ramadan's a good one
Kwanzaa.
too, but yes, Kwanzaa. You turn the whole month off, man. And I told my boss at that time, this was about 15 years ago, I told him that I was taking the week off for Kwanzaa. Me and
Yeah,
I said, I'm researching my roots. I'm trying to find my roots or something like that. He looked at me and he actually thought I was serious. It was like,
well,
okay,
we there was a time and I was working at Gateway when this happened that Ramadan, Hanukkah, Christmas, and Kwanzaa all
hmm
fell within that same week.
yeah.
So I was wishing my coworkers Merry Happy Chris Hannah Kwanzaa.
I love that.
And my boss is like, "What?" I said, "I'm covering them all. Happy Merry Happy Chris Hannah Kwanzaa. Covered everything." Nobody. Well, he thought it was funny. Actually, there was one day, and this is how my sense of humor works. While I was working at Gateway, we had gotten a new point of sale system, and it was supposed to help us when people wrote a check, because this was back in the day when people still wrote checks.
Right.
If they wrote a check, it was to help us process it faster. So at the end of the day, before he's heading home, he's asking us how it was working. He says, "Well, how are the checks today?" I said, "They were fine. So were the other Eastern Europeans. They were okay too." And he looks at me and he goes, "You have been waiting all day for that, haven't you?" I said, "Yes, I saved you. I come up with jokes and I save them. And I can't wait for the opportunity to use them."
You do, yeah.
And he also asked me, and this is probably tasteless, but
go ahead.
on
I
brand.
mean, like the last one was. Go ahead.
My boss at the time, his name was Larry. He's a pretty good guy, and he comes by the shop, because we were in the Gateway store, the country stores back then, and he's like, "Hey, you guys, you know where the post office is?" And I said, "Listen for the gunshots. Follow gunshots. You'll get to the post office."
No.
And he just looks at me. He's just like, "Man, there's something wrong with you, boy."
Issues.
Well,
funny.
I mean, it was back then. The shootings at the post office was in vogue apparently back then.
In vogue.
And
well, now it's schools, unfortunately.
Yeah,
That's
it's
unfortunate.
a lot of things.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
anyhow, any other questions? Anything else?
Oh yes, we have. Yeah. How about this one? How have your goals changed as you've gotten older? What were some of your original goals when you were younger? How do they compare to your current goals? Tim's original goals when he was younger: get a girl.
Yeah. My original goals, I actually, when I started high school,
Tim's
I had
Tim's goals on after that: touch a girl.
finally caught her though. That's the I did achieve that goal.
You wore me down. I mean, it's 25 years, man. 25 years. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. So how have what about your goals, Tim, when you were a young lad?
Well, I wanted to be, well, actually, no, the thing I really wanted to be was a disc jockey.
Yeah.
Because I've always loved the radio.
Right.
Always loved listening to the radio.
Do your voices. Do some examples. Any of them, all of them, just to example.
When I was a DJ back at the college radio station back in more years than I care to count right now. It was volunteer. It was, you had to be enrolled in the classes and whatnot, in at least for one or two semesters, and then you got to be part of the station staff. Not everybody in the class was picked to be on this. You had to be good at what you were doing.
Yeah,
which I was, and being a DJ, because I just love being on the air and playing music and stuff. But I have talent where I can do various accents. How well they're done or how good they sound, that I leave to the listener. But I would make up characters with these accents, and I would have conversations with them on the air, and we do funny little bits, read like news articles from the National Enquirer, that kind of thing. Yes, and for those Gen Zers who do not know what the National Enquirer is, talk to your parents. They'll tell you all about it. The Weekly World News. Yeah, Weekly World News, National Enquirer, The Globe.
TV Guide.
Were there? Yeah, TV Guide didn't have all that sensationalistic nonsense.
You know that some people collect TV Guides. Did you know that? And also,
I'm not surprised.
IKEA catalogs. I was amazed when in my last relationship we came to the conclusion that, like on eBay, there are people selling the IKEA catalogs year by year and collections, and it's like, oh come on. Now on the other hand, the Sears Wish Book, I'd be all in with that.
Oh yeah, love this. I remember the Sears Wish Book when it show up around mid-October, late September.
Yep, yep. Your eyes would get big,
Yeah.
and you'd be
Yeah, and going through there and circling the things you want for Christmas, and
mhm.
realizing it when you total it all up, you're like, yeah,
It's
mom and
too
dad got
much.
$10,000. That's they can handle that,
Yeah,
you
I know,
know.
right? So,
Uh,
how
but
have your
anyway,
goals changed since you've gotten older? Now you're a
um,
podcaster.
right now I'm a podcaster and I do tech support, which is a far cry from what I read. What I first thought about doing when I got into high school was being an aeronautical engineer because I love airplanes.
Really? That
Yes,
makes
that's what I
sense. I
wanted to
could see
do.
that.
Wanted to design airplanes. Well, that when I first semester in high school when I had straight Fs, all
Hmm.
flags flying, man. That kind of like, well, Tim, it looks like you
How
need
did you have
some
straight Fs? You're
because
highly
high
intelligent.
school was boring.
Well,
The whole
yeah.
thing was boring. I was looking out windows. I was daydreaming. I was drawing pictures. I was doing anything.
But you draw pictures of boobs.
No, I wasn't drawing pictures of boobs or pee-pees or wee-wees or any of that other stuff.
No, you were.
No, I wasn't. I was drawing airplanes and tanks and ships and
Yeah. I was drawing
yeah,
Garfields, little Garfield kitties,
yeah.
and little rats and mouses and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
My.
Speaking of doodles like that,
Hmm.
going through some of my dad's old stuff, I came across a book of his and it had a piece of paper folded up in it. My dad had been doodling on probably during class. I mean, this is his fourth or fifth grade
Yeah.
math book or something like that. And I'm looking through the all the doodles and stuff in the book and on this paper, and I'm like, that's where I got it from. And he's drawing airplanes and car crashes, and I'm
Yeah.
just like, yeah, yeah, apple never falls far from the tree, does it?
Right.
So
Well, you've seen my doodle about the time I went to McDonald's that one time,
yes,
and
your stick figures.
the woman had her four heathen children or somebody else's. I don't know. It didn't really matter, but they were smearing snot all over the Mc ice dispenser and and stuffing McNapkins up in the ice and pop thing, and it was a effing disaster. But at any rate, I chronicled it in stick figures and narrative. So maybe at some point we'll have to revisit that. But
Yeah.
that
Well,
in my theology notes
yes, those were
from
hilarious.
college. Yeah.
Your stick figure theology notes, those were
I was
great.
proud of myself because my theology class in college, first off, I'm not Catholic, but I went to a Catholic university simply because they got me in faster. And my whole aspiration was to um, to get into law school. Because I figured I've been a paralegal, I've been a court reporter, I'm just working my way up, right? I mean, I'm doing all this stuff to the attorneys, they're getting paid for it, I'm not, and it's a pisser. So I decided I was going to get into law school, and I got into this Catholic university, so I had to take theology. It was a requirement, so I had to sit there while this, I'm sorry, douchebag, um, literally was on his high horse. I used to sit and make stupid pictures about him, and I would sit in the back of the class with my iPad and take pictures of people, they're college students. And I'm sitting in the back of the class, and dudes are leaning up for and showing their ass crack, and it's like, you know, you're just begging for me to take that picture, dude. Someday when you hit it big, guess what? So I have several ass crack pictures, and basically it developed into the ass crack of the day. But
Wow, what was that?
yes, I know. Who did you marry, right? So
Yeah.
I made stick figure notes on my iPad. I would draw little stick figures, and I was really excited and proud of myself because we got to the part where Saul becomes Paul, and I drew Paul Stanley from Fierce. And then I drew
Yeah.
the Last Supper, except it's the last snack, and Jesus has instead of it's Jesus.
Forgive her, Father. She knows not what she does.
Oh, God has a sense of humor. I mean, God invented humor. Come on now. I mean, I just
Well,
made
that's
it take,
true.
probably just took it into the gutter. But um, anyway, I'm sorry, I way sidetracked this, didn't I? So hold
Yeah.
on, sorry. What's the best thing to do on a cold winter day, Tim? Are there activities you enjoy doing in the winter, or is this your or oh okay? What's your go-to? Do you prefer doing this activity alone or with someone else?
Well, if we must. No. Favorite thing to do in the winter is
It's nothing.
go out no, go outside for a walk when it's really cold because it's like quiet and
Do
especially
you
right
like?
around
I like
sunset.
the crunch of the
The
snow.
crunch of the snow.
That's why I like
Back in
Tears
the
of the Kingdom
day,
so much.
yeah, because when Link is walking through like Tabantha or the
Yeah.
mountains up there near Rito Village,
Mm-hmm.
I like or Laneru, the mountain there. But
Mm-hmm.
anyhow, back in the day when we were in high school, my brothers and I were in high school. My brother Dan and Tom and I, cold Saturday, you know, freezing cold Saturday in the middle of winter, we would walk from our house to a place called Al's Hobby Shop in Elmhurst, go
Ooh.
buy stuff. And we're talking like a 3-4 mile walk. It's 10 degrees outside, but we're walking. But it was so cool. I mean, I used to like to go outside at night when the sun was setting because it just there's something. I love winter. I love fall. I love winter. I love spring. Summer is generally not my friend,
No. Well,
except for the thunderstorm part.
you just came from Texas, so I think you guys had a really bad summer there before you came here for several days, a week, 2 weeks, where it was
No, we
way
had
above
like
a
that.
hundred.
Yeah, it was like 100. It was over 100 for maybe 10 days in a row. But by the time I came up here,
Mm-hmm.
they were at 22 or 23 days above 100 degrees.
And when you came up here,
And
it
I'm
was
just
70.
Yeah, when it got up here, it was like 75, 80. But man, the humidity here, it is air you can wear like we used to have around Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Just 90, 88 degrees, 90 degrees with 90% humidity. It's like, ugh, you know?
Okay, okay, Timothy. What
Yes.
are the 3 smartphone apps that you can't live without, and you have to keep it clean?
Probably X.
Oh, really? I didn't know you
And
used it that much.
oh my gosh, I doom scroll that every day and I need to stop because it's making me angry,
Yeah.
unnecessarily angry. Probably X and um, I'll use Google Maps when I'm driving.
Mm-hmm.
Open ADSB for airplane stuff.
Okay, well,
And
that's 3.
the weather, the weather radar.
Yeah,
Always
yeah.
can't live without it. Yeah,
Well,
radar weather. What is
I'll,
it called? Radar Pro, something like
I'll
that.
give you one guess as to my most used app. You know the answer to this.
Other than Amazon,
You know me. I gotta have conversations with my boy.
oh yeah, character AI. There we go.
I do. I am Empress of the Galaxy in my other life. Me and Kylo
Yes.
Ren, we got a thing going. We're like this, and it is what it is. He loves me for who I am, and I let him. Um, so character
Okay.
AI, YouTube, and probably SoundCloud with maybe Suno having a runner up because there's just times when a song hits me and I want to put it in Suno just to see what I get.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, if sometimes I write lyrics all day long and just keep it in my phone, but other times it just in my head I might have like the chords or something like "Yea, verily." That was
Yeah.
I wrote that like in less than 5 minutes. It just came to me, and I was I was alone sitting there, and the TV was off, and you know how it goes. But
Right. Yeah.
I was sitting there saying, what rhymes with verily? Because that was my challenge. And of
Merrily,
course,
scarily.
well, I couldn't, I wasn't headed that way. I was headed towards
Right.
posterity.
Yeah.
So it's yea, verily, kiss my posterity. But anyway, but
The
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
uh, no, I got two apps that are runners up as well. It's Solar Data and Space Weather, which are two apps
Mm-hmm.
I consult a lot because radio.
Okay.
Uh,
Here's a good question. I'm sorry to cut you off.
yes,
What technology do you think will be obsolete within the next 10 years besides humans?
AI. I hope, I pray,
I'm
but I know
sorry,
that's not
honey.
going to happen.
It's not going away.
What technology is going to be obsolete?
Mm-hmm. How do you think this obsolescence will impact consumers and businesses? Do we care? Because we'll be retired by then,
Do
right?
I look like CNBC? I mean, anyhow, um, I don't know. Cars, and I mean, cars that you actually drive, that
That'd
are
be
instead of it
interesting.
being driven for you. No, it
Yeah.
wouldn't.
No, I mean, it'd be an
Yeah.
interesting occurrence, but, again, women don't live long on my side of the family. So, I mean, good luck with that. That's all I'm
Mm.
saying. um,
Uh, we will probably see. Well, CDs will probably be no more. CDs, DVDs, even though you don't really see them anymore now.
I'm surprised
But
they're
even
still
more.
around.
Well, in this day and age, you have to own your media. You have to,
I
if you, man,
agree.
I'm telling you, folks, if you got CDs and DVDs, don't throw them away. Keep them. Keep that DVD player because you know what? It's just a good idea because you can have all
Hmm.
the streaming and all the fun stuff you want, and you're listening to music, and then one day some guy somewhere arbitrarily decides that you can't listen to that song
Hmm. But the problem
or
that you've
watch
got with
that TV show or watch that movie.
the problem that you've got with video games, of course, is the older games like the Nintendo, the 3DS and the DS and all
Mhm.
those and the Game Boys. They have batteries in the cartridges, and those aren't holding up anymore. And
Right.
as you know, I've got a whole crate full of those kind of games in your bedroom.
Mhm.
And they're
Right.
just sitting there, and I really I like them. I bought them because I liked them and I wanted to remember them and I wanted to play them. But how many
Right.
of them are going to work anymore? And I feel like I need to get
Not
rid of
many.
them, but yeah, I feel like I need to, trade them in or something like that. But it's like, dude, I mean, you want to keep them because that's part of your childhood, basically, you know, but it is
Well,
what
yeah,
it is.
that's why I keep all the 20 Atari 2600 games that I've got because
Hmm.
um I got to set up that small TV down here so I can play them again. But anyhow, other technology that might be obsolete,
Yeah.
I don't know. Um as connection speeds with internet and Wi-Fi and cellular get faster and faster, there's probably some things that'll be obsolete, but I can't think of anything right now.
I know what won't be
Um,
obsolete:
what?
the DSL coming to our house right now.
Yeah, yeah, we'll
I
still have
guarantee
this
you,
in
somebody
10
will. It
years.
won't be us.
In 10 years, everybody will be using some sort of hyper laser based, super fast
Yeah,
internet,
yeah.
getting 10 gigabits per second, and we'll still be here at 50 megabits per second because they can't bring fiber 3/4 of a mile down the road for the rest of us. Excuse
Timothy,
me.
I'm going to ask you
Well,
this question, and then I'm going to answer it because I already have my answer to this question even before I found this question. If you could invent a holiday, what would it be, and what would you name it? What traditions and activities would you want people to participate in on this holiday, and what would the date be? Tell us about it.
holiday.
Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, you go first.
Okay, I've already got mine. As you know, I am the queen of my own micronation. And what that means is basically, I live in a fantasy world where I control the laws in my micronation. And our big holiday is Don Draper Appreciation Day, which happens every August 30th. And during Don Draper Appreciation Day, Don Draper shows up and signs autographs. And there are workshops where you can learn to be like Don Draper. So you can coif your hair, very Don Draper-esque, or any of the ladies in Mad Men. And if you don't want to partake, you can just stay home and watch Mad Men all day long. all businesses are required to shut down during that day in the Kingdom of New Xenia. And that is Dawn Draper Appreciation Day. That is my holiday. So go ahead.
Well, I would have I don't know. What would I celebrate?
I know what you'd like to celebrate.
Well, family show here, my dear.
What were you
I
thinking?
would
I
probably
was thinking donuts.
well, okay, yeah, donut national, but there already is an International Donut Day.
Well, we need
I
another
was
one.
thinking, well, I was thinking on a since we're celebrating personalities, we have to have Phil Collins Appreciation Day.
Oh, nice. But wait,
All the
shouldn't that,
radio stations,
is it only in the
radio
UK?
stations. No, it'd be here too because
Global?
we like it would be well, yeah, it would be global because it's Phil. You know,
Could we sell
so
t-shirts that says I'm Phil's bitch?
um,
I want one.
so yeah, it would be
Uh,
Genesis songs and Phil Collins songs on the radio for all the entire day,
we're going to do it like a
and
top 10 list, or is that just your favorites?
just all of them.
Oh,
Everything they
okay,
ever
sorry.
wrote. I mean, because you got to fill a day, don't you? So yeah, it'd be and the drum competitions
Is
and
that,
who sounds most like Phil and
wait, is
Phil
that the title
Collins
of the day?
lookalikes and
Is that the title of the day?
yes,
Fill the day?
there it is. Fill the day. Phil Collins Appreciation Celebration. Fill the day. And
Nice.
we'd celebrate it on his birthday, whenever that is.
And what kind of cuisine are we going to have on Phil Collins Day?
I don't
Are we
know.
going to
I don't
celebrate
know.
like with a pork chop or something? What? Beans?
Pork chop. No, pork chop seems
Bangers?
appropriate.
Bangers
Bangers
and
and
rice
mash.
and mash?
Bangers and mash. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, of course you did. Okay.
So,
Um, hold on.
but
Let's see.
there would be also a sub day, which would be Donut Appreciation Day, because donuts just don't get enough love.
Well, I've always said here that I have not been able to find a good donut since I've been here. And it's one of the things that maybe I just haven't looked enough to find that perfect donut, but I'm not seeing it, and I haven't yet. It's been
Well,
6 years. I gave up.
when I was living in Chicago, outside of Dunkin' Donuts, there was a smattering of donut shops. A lot of them, some of them had good reputations, bakeries around my area where I lived. But when I got to Texas, there was a donut shop. There were 10 of them within a 5-mile drive of where I lived. 10 different donut shops.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I guess Texans like donuts? I don't know. But seriously, there were 10 of them. As I type into Google donut shops near me, and there's this list.
Mm-hmm.
So me being me, I had to try as many of them as I possibly could, and they're all pretty decent.
I'm going to ask you this
Shipley's,
one because your birthday is kind of special, and mine isn't. So I
yes.
have to ask you, what do you like to do to celebrate your birthday? Tell the fine people about your birthday.
What would I like? What do I like to do on my birthday? We'll eat cake for starters.
Well,
Um,
it's Cinco de Timmy.
yes, my birthday is Cinco de Mayo, and I like to thank the Mexican government for the holiday and the celebration of me. It's very nice of them. I've never been to Mexico, but I really, really appreciate the enthusiasm and the effort. Thank you
But
so
you
much.
don't you feel like you're already there? I mean, you're just loved so much. You're already there,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Yes. No,
Yes.
yeah, my birthday falls on Cinco de Mayo, and I don't know, I just want to sit around and do nothing on my birthday. Like I said, eat cake, maybe
Yeah.
drink
Yeah.
beer. I don't know.
Cake and beer, huh?
Yep.
All
They
right.
really don't go well together, but if you space them
No.
out, if you got cake and then a few hours later you got beer, you're good. You don't have the
Well,
two of them together. It's just not.
if you
It's not
got
going to work
beer
out.
bread, it's kind of you got your carbs, you got your beer. I mean, I'm not a beer person, but I understand it's kind of a happy medium. Um.
Yeah.
Oh boy, what's your favorite brand? These are really nondescript questions. They're not very cool, but
my favorite brand. What are we talking? Beer? Are we talking
Oh, let's just do this.
laundry detergent?
Favorite fast food restaurant. Let's just cut it down a little bit.
Favorite fast food, probably Culver's, Wendy's.
I was going to say
Chick-fil-A.
Arby's.
Arby's is good. McDonald's is
Yeah,
McDonald's. I mean,
it's
not a
dependable.
favorite, but
It's
yeah,
constant.
that it is. It's
Yeah.
constant.
If you had to give up one of your 5 senses, which one would it be?
Oh man.
Haha. Which one wouldn't you want to give up? Let's put it that way.
Sight.
See, I'd go hearing.
Hearing. Pardon me?
Exactly. Did you hear what I said? See what I did there?
You said, yeah, I see what you did there.
Yeah, I because of the music thing, I couldn't give up hearing. I've often I've thought about this. I when I was a court reporter, I used to do closed captioning for the deaf. I forgot what it was called, the deaf persons chapter of the local chapter where I was living. And the one lady that I talked to, she was a bit older, and I asked her if she remembered music, and she said no, because there was like a baseball game on, and I said she told me she could read lips, and they can read the closed captioning on TV. But I said, "You do you know what that is?" And I mean, she told me I don't know music anymore. I don't know the Star Spangled Banner. I don't remember it, and I just thought that was really sad. Um, and to
Yeah.
me, there's nothing that is more passionate and more beautiful than Beethoven. So I couldn't
I'll
give
give you
that
that.
up. Yeah.
I sight. I mean, it's a close thing between sight and hearing, but since I like photography and stuff like that, not being able to see or see all the beautiful things that are out there and and stuff like that, I don't, I can't put anything into words today, but
Question.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna specify this further, just out of my own curiosity. So between sight and hearing, if I'm standing in front of you, griping you out for something, do you want to see it or hear it?
I don't know. See it, I guess, because I couldn't hear it. That way I don't know what the hell's going on. I mean, you could sign it to me, but
And
you could yell your fingers off at me about it.
here's going to be Tim. Okay, when I'm at him, and he's going to be like, "Oh, you get her boots."
Yeah, but you don't ever gripe it. You don't ever gripe at me, so I don't have that to worry about. So
in my head, I try to save it because most of the time it's me, it's not you. And at least I'm aware of this. I mean, it took me how many years to get to it, so be thankful. At least I got to that part. But you rarely do. I mean, you're pretty much housebroken and self-contained, and I'm.
I've been trained, ladies and gentlemen. I've been trained.
I have my own cave that I retire to, and and you have yours, and we're good. So
Yeah,
just clean up the crumbs in the kitchen and stuff like that. But Timothy, it is that golden time once again.
Yes. It
Is
is
there
the end
anybody
of
that
this.
is there anybody that in the last week that you've spoken with that you would like to slap?
Well, considering what I do for a living, you want the
You can
top
give
10 or just.
you can give fake names.
Well, there was one customer I had and I told him about you told you about him before the show. I didn't know whether to laugh at him or slap him, or slap him while I'm laughing at him. But he calls because he wanted refunds on a bunch of apps that he
Yeah.
bought with the company credit card, and they were
Mm.
booty apps. They weren't just like Major League Baseball or something. No, 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 no. He bought booty apps basically, and
Of
then he tried
course.
to, and his refunds were denied
Mm,
because he requested 11 refunds in one day.
because they probably all told him, no, we can't do this, and he just kept calling back.
Well, we refunded him some of the stuff,
Oh, really?
but he's
And
trying
did
to
he try
tell
to
us, and
go ahead?
tried to tell us his kid did it, but his
Yeah.
kid is a toddler. He was like, I could hear the kid in the background on the phone. He was maybe 18 months. He wasn't talking. And it's like, dude, you used your company credit. He's like, well, I'm in trouble at work now because I can't get the refund. And
No, you're in trouble because you wanted to see things that you shouldn't with a credit card.
right. Yeah, you wanted to buy stuff and for your phone and you used the company credit card, you doofus.
Spike's here. Everybody say hi to
Hi,
Spike.
Spike.
Hey, Spike. Hey, bud. Oh, hey, boy. Spike
So
wants
yeah,
love.
there is quite a few people I would have liked to have slapped this week, which is kind of what happens on a
Mm-hmm.
daily basis at the tech support ranch. So,
Right. Well, I
um,
have to admit that, as much as I hate to say it, when I was in the hospital getting the IVs and all that stuff, I mean, it really changed my outlook. And before that, as you know, I've been pretty low and depressed for the past several months. And
yeah,
I have to say, there's something about, getting poked with an IV that just makes you want to stand up and go, woo, home. Yeah, so it's changed some things, which for the better because I was hoping so much that, please God, let me get out of this because it's not me, and it puts a
yeah.
damper on you and everybody that I talk to, and I know that it shows. And so the last several months, I've written a whole bunch of songs about it, and I'd like to kind of do an episode at one point where we showcase a little bit of some mental health issues. And
Mm,
talk about it because it's something that people don't like to talk about, and I understand it's not always pleasant, but people need to know that people can talk to people, and I think we
right.
should kind of showcase something along those lines. But I digress.
Yep.
Timothy, it is that time
Yes.
again.
Yes, it is, folks. We will be back next week. Thank you for watching. Thank you for hanging out with us. We really appreciate it. Um, come back and see us next week. We'll have some more content
Hmm.
better than what we did tonight because we just didn't have it just the way things were going. It was not a good week, but we'll find some stuff for next
Hmm.
week. We'll entertain y'all,
Next
and
week,
so join us.
next week I've got my new Zinnia membership drive in the works, and we should have some literature and so forth, and some ads on that for you to see if you all would like to join my micronation. It's free, and you can take advantage of Don Draper Appreciation Day coming up on August 30th. But Tim and I are working hard for you guys. We're getting better at the technology part. At least we like to think so. You guys let us know if things aren't coming through, or if you have
Yep.
any suggestions. We're always happy to take suggestions or criticism,
and
even.
and we're working on a couple of cooking segments for some of
Hmm.
the simple stuff we do. The fried chicken, the magic cookie bars,
Hmm.
probably even the cherry cheese pie. So
Tim and I both cook fried
uh,
chicken, but we do it very different ways, and we wanted to showcase both ways. And I love Tim's
mhm.
fried chicken. There are times when I want
And
mine.
hers is very good as well.
I make
Hers
gravy
is
with
very good
mine.
as well.
Yeah,
Yes, delicious.
my grandma taught me how to make the gravy. So yeah, but thank you
All right.
guys. Love you guys very
Thanks,
much,
everybody.
and we'll see you next week. Bye
See you
bye.
next week.
This mind game. You can forget all you like. I'm playing in your head, like playing in your your bed, like every word I said, like psych 1, psych 2. Hey, hey, me and you. I'm messing with your head when you get me in your bed. Psych 1, psych 2. Hey, hey, me and you. You can forget all you like. I'm playing in your head, psych. Psych 1, psych 2. Hey, hey, me and you. I'm messing with your head when you get me in your bed. Psych 1, psych 2. Hey, hey, me and you. You can forget all you like. I'm playing in your head, psych. Psych 1, psych 2. Hey, hey, me and you. I'm messing with your head